Hey, Camp Abilities Tucson, welcome back to virtual camp. It is the second year in a row we're doing virtual. We will be back next year, hopefully, and we are excited to see you guys in person. But for now, we've got your Tandem Challenge instructions. Yes, we're doing a virtual Tandem Challenge. So there are 3 components to our Tandem Challenge this year. We're going to show you what they are, and then we were going to do a mock, meaning we'll show you how the actual interval challenge will work, and then you're going to practice all week long before the Tandem Challenge next weekend. Sound good, Coach Erin?
Yes, and we're going to be communicating with your one-on-one coaches about how you're doing, how you're progressing, how you're getting better, and where you're kind of getting to each day of the week. And your Tandem Challenge goal is going to be just your goal, very individual to you and the way you're doing the Tandem Challenge. It will be the hardest you've probably done all week, but it'll be just for you. So don't worry about that part.
So first, we've got some safety things and some stuff you might need. I have a chair here. I also have a step stool. That was my daughter's when she was little to help see the sink or get to the sink.
It's about a foot tall.
Other areas you can use is maybe a step up from a sunken living room or upstairs or a step outside. Just making sure you have a step that you could step on if you're going to do the step ups. The first thing we're going to do is our step ups. It is going to be a very simple step up. I'm going to use the chair. If you are at home, what I would want you to do is put the chair actually against the wall and have someone with you either holding your hand or making sure they're spotting you because we don't want any injuries or anything like that. For purpose of showing you, it's going to be sideways so that you can see what I'm doing. Coach Erin is going to be using the step. That is the middle modification. And then the other modification we have, if you cannot step up until the end of the week or you want to practice, you can just walk forward. But first, we're going to show you the actual step up. I'm going to step with my right up, then left, then step with right down, then left. So it's just like stair climbing. Up, down, up, down, down. And if you're using the third modification, it's just going to be step, step, back, back. Front, back, back.
And big thing, make sure you're switching legs, especially if you're choosing to do the step-ups on a regular type of chair height or even on the smaller step like I am. Make sure that you are switching legs. So if you do the right leg the entire time, guess what? Your right leg is going to be very strong for a tandem ride, but your left leg is not going to be quite as strong. So if you want to, you can alternate right and then left. If you want to, you can do 5 rights and then count up to 5 and then 5 lefts. You can do however you want, but try to mix it up if you can, if you need to, so that at the end of the week you don't have one leg that's very sore and the other leg not sore at all.
Good times. And so then we will say during the Tandem Challenge, get into your second position. This is where we're going to be doing bicycle. This is where you're actually going to be moving your legs. Again, there are 3 ways you can do this. Way number 1 is actually on the floor with your hands behind you and leaning back and kicking your legs out one at a time. So right, left, right, left. A super duper challenge is to move your hands and just hold it. Right, left, left. Modification of this is leaning against a wall, like Coach Erin's going to do. I can lean against a chair, and again, lift, right, left. You can also sit in a chair, lean back, right, left. And we will tell you the times of these intervals in a second. So those are your first 2 components. Your last component is your plank. Your plank on the ground, the normal, non-modified, is your body is straight, your elbows are straight, and you're just looking down at the ground for the whole interval. Another modified version is just raising your hands. Erin can raise her hands on the stool. I can raise mine on the chair. And then there's the modified plank that way. There's also the modified plank of using a wall. So you can just stand up and lean against the wall for the time period of the interval.
There's also another modification if you want to try to be on the ground but needed a little bit less challenging with your legs, instead of your legs and toes pointed, toes touching the ground, you can set your knees down gently and do it like that with your knees touching the ground rather than your toes.
Oh.
All right, so we are going to do an interval and show you what it's going to be like for the tandem challenge. The point of the tandem challenge is to do as many of the exercises within that component within a 1 minute period. We're doing 1 minute? We're doing 1 minute. So within that 1 minute period. So if you have a timer, you can use that timer. We have an Echo. I don't know if anybody of you have those Amazon Echoes. We can always set a timer that way. So are you ready to start our challenge?
Ready.
All right. Here we go. Alexa, set timer for 1 minute.
1 minute. Starting now.
Up, down, down. As you notice, I am switching feet. So I'm going right, right, left, left.
And as you notice, I'm doing 5 at a time. So I started with 5 rights, and then after 5, I'm going to be switching to left. Just a different way to do it. Now I'm starting left. You can get your arms involved too. Your arms don't have to be still. Your arms can be moving also.
I just don't want to push myself off the wall. So during that minute, if you need to modify, you can, or if you need to stop and breathe and work your way up to that minute.
Maybe
That
my
is
legs
fine.
are getting really tired, so instead of going up on the step, I'm just going to step back a little more and step forward and back.
Alexa, stop. So we use an accessible app to use our timer to keep going. So we will say during the challenge, get into your next position. And I'm going to sit down on the ground. I'm going to put my hands behind me. And I'm going to say, are you ready, Coach Erin?
Ready.
Alexa, set timer for 1 minute.
1 minute.
And here we go. Now again, you want to make sure you're kicking out, 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 right, right, left, right, left. Almost like you're riding a bike, okay? And again, if you're getting tired, you can modify. So I can go up in my chair.
I can go against the wall a little bit more.
And I can modify a little bit. So if you're working out and you're like, oh, my quads, I can't do this anymore. Challenge yourself to keep going with that modification. If you need to just take an even more break, I'm okay. I can keep going.
Remember, the most challenging one is no arms. Holding your stomach and then kicking out with your feet. That's probably the most challenging, but you have a lot of choices.
Many, many choices. So we're showing you the different ways to modify, and it's okay to change. Alexa, stop. And then we're gonna say, oh, Coach Erin, are you ready for that plank?
Oh, I'm ready.
We only have one more component, and then we're gonna get into that plank. All right, so again, the 3 ways you can do the plank: floor, chair, wall, knees. But let's go ahead and get in that plank position. And I will say, Coach Erin, are you ready?
Ready.
Alexa, set timer for 1 minute.
1 minute. Starting now.
And you get into that plank. And you breathe. You might start shaking a little.
And remember, the point of the plank is to try to make a straight line, maybe slightly angled, from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes. Another modification we didn't mention, you still want to do your toes, but maybe your wrists kind of start bothering you. You can go down on your forearms and do it like that, even with your toes, or down to your knees if you want to do it like that. You want to show some of the other modifications, Coach KC?
So if I'm getting tired and I want to keep challenging, I'll go up to the chair.
Or I might go up to my 1 foot high step on my toes
Oh, that's still hurting.
or on my knees.
So I'm going to go back down. And I'm going to go on my knees. And then we're going to say, oh, there's not much time left. And I'm going to go back up to my plank.
And I might go over to the wall. Make a little bit of an angle and go against the wall and push.
Alexa, stop. Those are your 3 components of your tandem challenge. You've got your step ups, your bicycle kicks, and your plank. During the live tandem challenge, we're gonna do rounds, and we'll determine the rounds before we get there, but we will do a round of three, and we'll keep going. Make sure you have water with you. Work on these all week long. Any last thoughts?
I don't think so. Just remember, it's going to be individualized. Talk to your coach, your one-on-one coach, about how you're doing, what modifications you're using, and how many you're able to do in a minute and how you're doing them. So we can really make sure we set you a good but tangible goal, which means a goal you can actually make during the tandem challenge. We don't want it to be so hard that you feel like, oh, I just can't do that. We want it to be something you have to work for, but it's not so hard you're not going to be able to get there.
Exactly. All right, camp. Have a great week. We'll see you at the tandem challenge.